Have you ever imagined holding a device that could show you distant lands or whisper secrets from afar, but at a hidden and terrible price? What if that powerful connection slowly began to twist your own thoughts against you? Palantir stones corrupt their users by exploiting personal desires and inherent weaknesses, skillfully bending their minds with carefully constructed manipulative visions. They don't just communicate, they infiltrate, ultimately seeking to dominate the user's will through the dark, pervasive influence of the Dark Lord Sauron himself. These are not simple tools, but ancient and powerful artifacts that demand an almost impossible strength of mind and purity of spirit to resist their insidious dangers. The core mechanism of this corruption lies deep within the very nature of these ancient seeing stones and the immense dark power that eventually sought to control them. Each Palantír is linked telepathically to the others, forming a network across Middle-earth. When one of these stones is actively wielded by a master of deceit, such as Sauron, his formidable will can project through all the other stones, effectively ensnaring anyone who gazes into another without an exceptionally strong mental and spiritual defense. It becomes a relentless battle of wills, a psychic tug-of-war. The stone itself ceases to be a neutral observer, instead acting as a cunning conduit for overwhelming influence, constantly probing and exploiting weaknesses, doubts, and hidden ambitions within the user's mind. Although the stones were originally created with a benevolent purpose by the Noldor elves, their inherent power makes them frighteningly susceptible to malevolent manipulation, turning their very function into a terrifying means of control and subjugation. This means that if a user lacks what is called an unbent will, a pure and utterly unwavering resolve, the stone quickly transforms into a deceptive mirror. It reflects their deepest fears, fuels their darkest ambitions, or cunningly presents a series of meticulously crafted deceptions, all designed to break their spirit. Take the tragic example of Denethor, the proud steward of Gondor. His increasingly desperate use of the Palantír, driven by grief and a fierce desire to protect his realm, led to his downfall. Sauron showed him only visions of overwhelming despair, unstoppable power, and the futility of resistance, systematically eroding his hope and driving him to madness and, ultimately, self-destruction. Saruman, the once wise wizard, also became a stark example of this corruption. He deliberately sought to use his stone to gain knowledge and power, believing he could outwit Sauron. Instead, he was slowly but surely ensnared, becoming a puppet, a servant to the very entity he foolishly sought to master. To resist such a profound psychological assault, one would need an almost superhuman resolve, a heart utterly free from pride or despair, and an unwavering commitment to good, constantly aware of the stone's inherent potential for betrayal and spiritual ruin. An intriguing detail about the Palantíri is that they do not simply display objective truth. They actively show what the dominant user wishes to transmit, or more dangerously, what Sauron wants you to see. They are not passive scrying devices but active, almost intelligent, instruments of manipulation. Only individuals of true lineage and immense inherent power, such as Aragorn, with his claim to kingship and ancestral connection to the stones, could command one without immediately falling entirely under Sauron's sway. Even for Aragorn, confronting Sauron through the Palantír was a moment of tremendous mental and spiritual struggle, a perilous gamble that demanded every ounce of his inherent strength. The stones themselves, forged with incredible skill in the First Age, possess an ancient, deep-seated power, almost a form of consciousness, that resonates with the entire history of Middle-earth, effectively making them formidable psychological and spiritual weapons in the hands of evil. Ultimately, the insidious corruption that stems from misusing Palantír stones serves as a profound and enduring lesson. It teaches us that true power and lasting peace come not from attempting to control ancient, dangerous artifacts or from blindly seeking forbidden knowledge. Instead, it arises from the unwavering strength of one's own character, a pure heart, and the hard-won wisdom to steadfastly resist insidious temptations, lest your own deeply held desires become the very chains that bind you to a darker, more malevolent will.